Debbie Flower is here, America's favorite retired college horticultural professor. I think you're here.
I'm here. I'm here.
All right.
I showed up.
All right. You know what time it is? It's garlic planting time.
It is for us, yes.
Yeah.
Right around, if anybody celebrates it, Columbus Day.
No, that's good. I look at it as baseball playoff time.
Oh, okay.
Baseball playoffs is also the time for shucking the popcorn.
Okay.
Do that.
It's good to hook these things, to some event so that you do it at the right time each year.
Of course, garlic planting time would vary upon where you live. If you live in a colder climate, you would do it sooner, possibly in late September, early October.
Absolutely true.
And as you go to warmer climates, it's a little bit later. Would
you determine when to plant it based on nighttime temperatures?
I do baseball playoffs.
Okay.
But you're right. It's all about what that bulb needs as far as colder temperatures in order to thrive and develop a new bulb. From what I understand, hardneck bulbs require, and they call this vernalization as far as that period of coldness, which isn't that cold, really.
No, it's not compared to other things that need to be vernalized.
Yeah,
yes.
It's like 40 degrees or thereabouts.
Yes.
Hardnecks need it more than softnecks. That's why softnecks are a cinch to plant in like USDA Zone 9.
Right, where we are.
I mean, I've never ever think about vernalization. I just go ahead and plant.
I do when I'm talking about tulips or crocuses, or some crocuses, not all, some tulips, not all, and hyacinths. They need to be vernalized in our climate, or they will either not flower or the flower will be so buried down in the leaves you won't see it.
In this particular situation, I guess it's a case of it's not flowering you're trying to encourage, it's bulbing that you're trying to encourage.
Right, that's the part of the plant we eat is the bulb.
Flowering, actually, you want to cut off the flowers.
Right, because that will take energy out of the bulb, and you'll have, unless you're growing it for seed, I don't know who does that. Companies do. You can buy garlic seed. So there are commercial people who do it. I don't know if any home gardener would do that.
I will do it just to attract beneficials to one or two plants.
The flowers do that.
Yeah. It's a beautiful globe-shaped flower, and it's full of teeny tiny flowers that attract a whole host of small beneficials. Mm-hmm. Basically, you're sacrificing that bulb for the flower. Now, I did see one source that said for best results, the garlic clove needs to be exposed to 40 to 50 degrees in the soil for 6 to 12 weeks during the winter to stimulate bulb formation. In a lot, not most, but in a lot of USDA Zone 9, where you do have colder winters, unlike, say, Southern California, here in Central and Northern California, you get those soil temps between 40 and 50 easily for 6 to 12 weeks.
Right. In Hawaii, I just read a publication from the university there, and they say that the garlic needs to be vernalized for 1 to 2 months at 40 degrees. And so that would be putting it in the refrigerator.
Right.
For
and
1
probably
to 2
the
months.
crisper.
The crisper, right. So you can maintain some humidity to prevent it from drying out.
And again, you do want to plant the clove, not the entire head of garlic. You want to separate those cloves out. You can leave the paper covering on each clove and just plant it the fat side down, the base side down.
Right.
And in our area, you'd plant it maybe 1 to 2 inches deep. And in colder climates, 5 to 6 inches deep.
Right. You want to get below that hard freeze line because it will just turn to mush.
Yeah, I noticed Cornell University recommended that garlic not only be planted at 5 to 6 inches deep in areas where the ground does freeze, I guess, in New York.
Upstate New York, it does.
New York, okay.
And New York, I lived on Long Island. The soil does freeze there.
Oh, it does? Okay, all right. And then top that with another 4 inches of mulch on top.
The mulch is to prevent what's called frost heaving. Mm-hmm. So you have cold weather, bare soil, and maybe, snow or something. And then it warms up. You have a sunny day, and the sun shines down on that snow and it starts to melt and it flows into the soil, and then the sun goes down and it gets cold again and that water freezes, and as water freezes it gets bigger because the way the molecules set up in ice versus in water, and that causes cracks in the soil. And if it happens over and over again, plants can actually be pushed out of the ground, and garlic cloves could as well. So if you put a layer of mulch on top and straw is a nice light colored mulch that would reflect a lot of light, then that freezing and thawing cycle won't happen.
Okay. And that makes plenty of sense. And we haven't even come to the question yet that we said we're going to answer.
Point.
Because Christine, who lives in Vallejo, which is in the Bay Area of San Francisco, mild climate, USDA Zone 9, She asks about growing garlic from last season's harvest. And you're asking yourself, well, wait a minute, I thought you were talking about the refrigeration. What does this have to do with that? Well, it's part of the answer. Here is her complete question. She says, in October of 2022, I planted a purple stripe hardneck garlic from a seed garlic purchased from my local nursery. I did not vernalize them and had a successful harvest in July. I saved a new head to plant out again this fall. Do I need to vernalize those, or can I go ahead and plant them out? Thank you, Christine, for your question. It's amazing. I have a lot of garlic reference books, including one of my favorites, which is the Fillory Farms catalog, which is like a little garlic encyclopedia.
Oh, wow.
Fillory Farms is up in Washington State. Get their catalog because it is a great garlic reference. Plus, some wonderful books like Growing Great Garlic, all about garlic and plant propagation. None of them really provided the definitive answer to your question about vernalization, which again is just refrigeration for a few weeks. However, they all did offer clues. Clues? Well, what are the clues? I tell you what, become a paid subscriber, you can get clued in. You've only heard less than half of the entire podcast. Plus, in the newsletter portion, you'll get the complete transcript, as well as more links and more information about growing garlic, including things like what kind of soil is best for growing garlic. When planting garlic cloves, which ones should you plant? Which ones should you not plant? By the way, which direction should you plant the garlic cloves? How will the garlic plant tell you when it's time to dig up that garlic? It will, if you listen. All that and a tasty recipe that uses a lot of garlic if you have more garlic than you think you're going to use. All that awaits paid subscribers to the Beyond the Garden Basics newsletter and podcast. It's reasonably priced, and paid subscribers also get access to the complete library of newsletter editions, which now number more than 200. Plus, it lets me know that I'm doing something worthwhile here that you find of value, even if it's only occasionally. So, thanks for becoming a paid subscriber. Just click on the subscribe link in the newsletter to keep the good research-based gardening information coming your way. Thank you.